want to talk about marriage and money because I don't think enough people talk about it. I was really scared to quit my job. I think I was scared because growing up, I didn't see women's work being valued. And I thought that in a marriage, the only way to be valuable was to have a full time job, like a man. And that's just plain wrong. But it's wrong for a few different reasons. It's wrong for the obvious reason women do things that obviously aren't making money but contribute to the family. But the thing is, men do too. So by dismissing the work women do that's not contributing economically, I was dismissing my husband's role as well. And I don't know about you, but in this day and age, I think both of us do a lot that has nothing to do with making money. It has to do with raising kids, with making each other happy, with making a home, creating a home, with taking care of the family. Both of us do that in different ways. And by reducing everything to value equals making money, I was doing a disservice to both of us. I think I realized this when I saw my husband busting his butt, getting up early in the morning one day when I really wanted to go to the gym, but one of us needed to be up with the kids because they really like to show us their drawings and coloring in the morning. Anyway, he had worked late the night before, but he got up so I could go and take that CrossFit class. And I remember coming back and seeing him sitting there with our kids, looking at their drawings, being fully present, even though he was exhausted. And I think something just clicked. Like, this is valuable work. This matters. Him being there, present with them, choosing to do this, that's not less than anything. That's actually everything. That's when it really hit me that by giving into my fears about not being valued, I was signaling the same thing to my husband. Now, here's what I didn't realize. My husband felt the same way. It turns out if you married your husband, which, well, let's face it, you did, he probably also does not like the way women and money and what counts as valuable and what doesn't, and marriages were handled either. And when I realized that, it changed a lot of things for me. I think the biggest thing it did was that it gave me permission to trust. And I know that you should do that when you get married, but for some reason, when it comes to marriage and money, I feel like it's a different thing. I felt like I had to live out the past, contribute in ways I saw men in the past do, otherwise, I wouldn't be considered valuable. And like I said subliminally, I was signaling the same thing to my husband. And here's what hit me. Both of us want to write a new script around money and marriage. We both want something different than what we saw growing up. But by staying stuck in the old patterns, I wasn't allowing either of us to have what we actually wanted, which was something new, something where all work is valued no matter whether it produced money or not. And when I felt like I could trust my husband, I could trust that nothing and, well, everything would change and that together we could figure out what this new life could look like. So many things opened up because when you're not trying to prove your value through a paycheck, you can actually see all the other wealth you're creating. And I just started thinking about the wealth we already have, both the financial and non financial. My health, the fact we live in the mountains, our kids, our family. And I started thinking about this idea of enough. Sometimes I feel like in our world, we over index on financial wealth. Money. What's enough money? What's the other kind of wealth both of us are creating as well? And how do we promote that together? How do we make sure we have enough financially, but also not over-index on it and give up on all the other types of wealth we're creating together? The types of wealth that our kids will have visceral memories of, like laughing, time together, simple moments where we're just eating, enjoying each other's company, playing on the beach in Rishikesh. I think this is the real wealth. It's having enough money to cover what we need, but savoring the other wealth life has to offer. Now, I still have anxiety about finances, but I realized that was more in my head than real, and I'll cover that in another video. But here's what I believe now. So I choose to believe that we can find a middle ground between being a mother, a wife, a daughter-in-law, a friend, a community member, and a wealth creator. And that's what I want to call myself from now on. I'm not going to be an employee. I'm not going to be any of these other names. I choose to believe myself a wealth creator. And that's what I want to call all women from now on.
we're not just an employee. We're not just these other labels. In fact, we are wealth creators because when we create wealth, we create it for ourselves, we create it for our families, we create it for the community, and we create it for the world. And I think that's who we all are today. We women are wealth creators. And I want you to believe that as well. You are a wealth creator. And I'm going to figure out how. Thanks for listening, guys.